Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Business Incorporated, coming to you live from our Lagos studio. I'm Chimezi Obi Iwagu. On the show today, Lafarge Wholesome Africa unit sees economic growth boosting profit. And Zambia's bonds plummet on concerns it's towing the way of Mozambique. Plus, Standard Bank Group Limited seeks banking license in Senegal after opening in Ivory Coast. We'll start off the show with the markets, and here in Africa, Egypt is outperforming its peers, trading 1.33% up at intraday after the country's National Statistics Office reported that the annual urban consumer price inflation fell in March to 13.3%, its lowest rate since May 2016, shortly before a currency devaluation pushed prices up sharply. Inflation climbed after Egypt devalued the pound in November 2016, reaching a record high of 33% in July 2017, following energy subsidy cuts. It has gradually eased since, prompting the central bank to begin loosening monetary policy. South Africa JSE index was up 1.08%. However, Nigeria faltered, dropping 0.18%. Kenya closed in the red on Monday. And in the Middle East, most of the markets in the region were up at intraday except Saudi Arabia. The Saudi index was down 0.18%. Abu Dhabi was up 1%, Dubai up 0.25%, and Qatar up 0.79%. And in Europe, markets were higher in early trade after Chinese President Xi Jinping sought to soothe investor concerns about the prospect of full-scale trade war between the world's two biggest economies. Now, in the meantime, a lot of chaos at Germany's airport. Let's bring in Daniel Koop now to tell us more. Hello, Daniel. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good afternoon, Chimi. Hi from Frankfurt. Before we start our conversation, I actually would like to share a breaking news story with you that we are following here at this hour. This is just in. It seems to be the case that there is going to be a change in the management structure of Germany's biggest car maker, Volkswagen. We are hearing that on Friday, the supervisory board will be meeting, and it seems that the current CEO, Mueller, who has been in office since 2015, might be replaced. We are hearing that apparently the current brand and design chief of Volkswagen could be his successor. Mueller has been the CEO since 2015. He has been heavily under fire because of the Dieselgate scandal, but was at the same time praised to bring the company out of the crisis. So this is, as I say, a developing story, and we are monitoring all of this here very closely, Jimmy.
Sure, we'll continue to keep a tab on that story, and it seems quite a lot is happening there in Germany. Of course, the grounding of almost 1,000 flights there as union workers begin their strike action. Now, how much passenger chaos are these airlines dealing with, and how are investors dealing with the shares of the airlines in the region?
Yeah, it's not an easy day for travelers here in Germany at all. Big airports such as Frankfurt's International Airport and Munich, many passengers are stranded there. You mentioned it, hundreds of flights being cancelled. This is happening because the worker union Verdi has called their members not to go to work today. Verdi is asking for more money, at least 200 euros per month. And yes, so now this situation is affecting also Germany's biggest carrier, Lufthansa. Lufthansa, we also know, has been itself on strike for quite some time. This time, actually, the fault is not related to Lufthansa at all. The people that are striking are not the flight attendants, not the pilots. It's mostly the personnel at the airport in charge, for example, of security controls, those people making sure that your bag gets inside of the aircraft. But yes, this is certainly not an easy day for Germany's biggest airline as well. As a result, the share price of the airline has been pretty much under fire. Dozens of flights needed to be cancelled because of this issue. And of course, then an airline like Lufthansa is of course making less money as well.
I just can't imagine what they are going through now. Well, sticking with corporate news, Bayer and Monsanto's wedlock appears to finally to have the green light. How soon could this happen?
Yeah, exactly. As an immediate result, because of this, we are seeing the Bayer share price, the strongest performer here today at the blue chip index DAX. Their shares went up to 5% actually, so very successful. This is happening because shareholders were actually very frustrated. This merger was taking much longer than expected. Those authorizations from the United States and the European Union were pending because, yes, there are lots of concerns with this merger. Bayer Monsanto will, frankly speaking, have a monopoly function in this business. This is making mostly farmers concerned that their prices for seed and also pesticides could go up dramatically. All of this, the approval of the United States has not been confirmed, but it seems to be that this is really the case. Bayer shareholders, as I said, are very much appreciating this. They are still a little bit concerned because this merger, we have to remember, it is the biggest merger that we have seen here in the history of Germany, that this merger could be, even for a company like Bayer, a little bit too big. So we have to see if all those synergies that they're hoping for at the end will really pay off.
All right, Daniel, let's leave the corporate news and get to the trade war front. China's President Xi's speech seems to have calmed the markets after he vows to lower import tariffs on products, including cars. So how bullish are the markets on Xi today?
Yeah, they're calling it actually a charm offensive that we're seeing right now from China. You mentioned it, the president of China stating today that they want to open the country more for foreign investors, that also they're going to be lower tariffs on cars from abroad being imported to China. What's all behind of this? Well, I was talking to an investor a little bit earlier. He stated to me that China, it seems at least, that they realize that they need to cooperate. They need to cooperate with the United States and also, of course, with the European Union, because those are very, very important trading partners for them. They cannot afford that those trade relationships would be damaged. So, yeah, we have to see how all of this unfolds. As an immediate reaction, shares also this morning in Asia, the big indices like in Tokyo, the Shanghai Composite, they were all in the green, and also the blue chip index DAX is having quite a successful day today. We are up right now with 114 points. That's a plus right now, Chimi, of about 1%.
Well, Daniel, we hope to see this trade war end very soon, but I don't know how soon. Anyway, thank you for your time, Daniel. Enjoy the rest of the day.